Welcome back to another episode of the Right Read Podcast. I'm your co-host, Miles Reed.
And I'm your co-host, Davon Reed.
And today we have a very special episode. Going to be talking about artists that have recently dropped, needs to drop in order to stay relevant.
Pretty much the most highly anticipated of 2025. You know, we're a few months into the new year, but we want to see some people drop. A lot of people on the need to drop list. So we'll get into all of our feelings about that a little bit later. As always, we like to open up the episode with talking about our fits. So Miles, tell the people what you got on today.
I'm gonna start with the top. I have Kill the Hype New York Yankees snapback. For the cardigan, I have a Zara cardigan I picked up a couple years ago at Zara. I think I got it in Atlanta. T-shirt, obviously, Kith pocket tee. Pants, I have a gray splatter represent pants. And then for the shoes, Sean Witherspoon Gazelles.
Very nice kicks. Very nice kicks. Sean Witherspoon, always putting together well. But great fit, brother. I'll start from the top down as well. I have on a J.W. Anderson crew neck. I think I picked this up in London. By the way, some of the best shopping you'll ever do is overseas. But big fan of J.W. Anderson. Big fan of this crew. For the jeans, I got on some reptile print with a little bit of glitter. These pants are from Purple brand. I like Purple jeans. They're growing on me. They got a wide variety of styles and how they do. And then I kind of kept it consistent. I got on some reptile print dunks with a crazy color green on it, but the green matched the green on my sweatshirt. So I thought I'd pull them out for y'all today. You know me, I love a sale. Got these on sale at a Nike factory store. So something light.
I like that shit, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yours too. Today's episode is brought to you by Building Drops. Building Drops is a unique engineering consulting company. They are a privately held entity that is comprised of several diverse divisions with a focus on fenestration industry. They use an extensive background in technology and automation and a global approach to further enhance the customer's experience. Their expertise are integrated and capabilities making them the preferred partner in the building industry, which allows them to provide any and all resources to their customer that they could require. Okay, we're fresh into the new year, or just about to head into April, and we've seen some good projects come out so far, but there's a lot of artists that we want to see and need to see pop up this year. So give me probably your top 5 most anticipated artists dropping this year.
No specific order. I'm gonna go with A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
I know he talked briefly about an upcoming album, and his last album was I think I was in high school.
Yeah, it might have been like my rookie year in the NBA, so maybe about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, I think it might have been like a junior or senior, but anyway, he has been putting out singles here and there, but I do believe it's time for him to drop an album, and I'm excited to see what kind of vibe he goes for in this episode. I know the last one was kind of like a crash tape, kind of vibe. My second one I'm going to say is Baby Keem.
Right.
Baby Keem, his last album was very good. It was very good. Mm-hmm. The features on this album were very good. Mm-hmm. He dropped a single with Kendrick about a couple years ago, The Hillbillies, and
we love that track.
That song been on my top 2024, even though it came out 23. That's how much of it. That goes to show how much I listen to it.
Right.
And that I like the vibe of that song, very upbeat, mm-hmm. and when he actually talk about a lot of the good stuff in that song.
Yep.
Another one I'm gonna say is Wale. Wale, his last album was in 2019. I was in sophomore year in college. I actually was just listening to this album a couple days ago. One of the songs that I like, BGM, that song got like a jazz vibe to it, where it's like an upbeat dance, and then it slows down. Got some parts where it slows down. I know one song on Chill that was like one of the top songs
The single from there, yeah.
when it came out.
I was literally just talking about Wale yesterday with my fiance. He don't get enough credit, man.
Right.
I feel like real artistry and real poets don't get as much love as the people that can make that quick kind of rap. You know what I mean? Just hot and soulful beat.
Soulful rap. He got like soul. He kind of put you in mind. He got, I would say, the same category, but similar category is like Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both got like they got meaning. They like when they rap, they got some meaning behind it.
Right.
I know he's been in other categories with sneakers, and I know he just recently got his own sneaker line with Nike.
Yeah.
And I think looking at it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those sneakers.
Yeah. My fourth one I'm going to say is Rihanna.
Good luck.
I don't know if we will get one. I know she's been on her other ventures with her children, her clothing line, Fenty, and just like beauty and all of that. But she sometimes she hinted about music, but we don't know how true that is. But I am definitely like, I will be ready when she actually drops on. And his last one, I know you can kind of guess who I'm thinking about.
I mean, I would hope this person's on your list. Young Thug?
No, not Young Thug.
Oh, okay.
Frank Ocean.
Oh, you just got a hopeful list.
Well, the last two is really hopeful, but Frank Ocean, I was just talking to mom today, and we were just saying how his last album was 2016.
Yeah.
It's almost 10 years ago.
What was it, Blonde and Endless?
Endless.
Yeah.
Endless right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hopeful list. I would love to see everybody that you named drop, but I don't know how likely it is that these people drop. Like, they haven't made music in quite a long time.
Yeah. Only about 3 of them that's like reasonable, but
Yeah.
the 2. But Frank Ocean, just what he puts out music is like artwork.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not rush pieces.
Right.
And he gives you an album that you listen to for years. And the prime example of that was Channel Orange.
Yeah.
Channel Orange, we got a CD. We had a CD player. CD of it when it first came out, and I remember just listening to it for years.
Still to this day, you can listen to it.
And it's timeless.
Timeless time.
You got timeless pieces, but don't even hear your
I'm gonna start off with the one that I thought that you would say. Me personally, I'm most looking forward to Young Thug. Young Thug just came home from beating his case. Shout out to Young Thug. He was one of my favorite artists when he went in. So we've been missing his music. He did drop a project while in jail, but I'm ready for him to drop some music. And he just recently started kind of promoting it. I think him and Mariah the Scientist were at a basketball game, and they gifted them both a jersey, but I think they gifted him a jersey with the title of the album, or the acronym of the album on there. So definitely looking forward to Young Thug dropping a project this year. Next is going to be somebody that only has really one body of work under their belt, at least that I'm familiar with, but it was a classic, Steve Lacy.
Okay.
Steve Lacy falls in that R&B space, similar to a Frank. Obviously, Frank is only Frank. He's in a league of his own, but it reminded me of that very vulnerable R&B, very melodic sounds. He had a very good project, and we really haven't heard of him since. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more Steve Lacy music, and hopefully he drops a project this year to follow up that one. Next, I'm looking forward to Jack Boys 2, predominantly because of Don Toliver and Travis. I'm a big fan of them as individuals, but when they come together and make music, it's incredible.
I feel like they need to drop more songs. I think that Jack Boys was what, like 6 songs?
The first one?
Yeah.
I can't remember how many. It was so long ago. I can't even.
It wasn't that many. Like it was good enough, but it wasn't enough to be considered, even though it is considered an album.
Right.
But it was probably like 5, 6 songs.
I mean, who does Jack Boys consist of besides them two? Shaq West and who else?
They had features with the Migos and Young Thug, but
I would like for it to really just be a tape of predominantly Donnie T and LaFlame.
yeah.
So if they can put together a solid amount of tracks, I will be very happy with that. So any music from them two together, I'm going to be highly anticipating that. One that you mentioned that I'm also a big fan of and looking forward to his music. He's had quite a hiatus. Is Baby Keem.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Keem's last album was very good. He has some very good features on there. He has some songs with Don Toliver on there. He has some songs with Kendrick, obviously. I like his sound. He can produce. He can Brent. That's one of my songs. That one with Brent.
16.
Yeah, Brent slid on that. I love that song. I'm a big fan of Baby Keem's music. I would like to hear some more of him because he's been on a little hiatus as well, and which is a little surprising with the success that Kendrick's had recently. You would think that Baby Keem would kind of be featured more during his run, but hopefully he's just been quiet because he's been cooking up. And then last on my most anticipated list is actually somebody who's deceased now. Nipsey Hussle has a posthumous album that is rumored to drop this year. Nip last album, man, it was a classic. We had so many classic songs on that album. Another one of the rappers that are going too soon, but was a big fan of him as a person, what he stood for, and just him as an artist. I feel like he was really about to take off to that next step. He had a lot of fans, but I feel like he was about to take that next step in his career. But I am looking forward to his project, even though he's no longer with us.
Let me ask you, how you feel about posthumous albums? Like, do you think that like they should just leave it alone, or you do think that it could be done?
I think if somebody had,
because I know Pop Smoke had one,
right,
Juice WRLD had one,
right. I feel like as long as it's something that was really put together predominantly by the artist before they passed, that it's valid to still continue their work. Especially if it's somebody that they were trustworthy with and really work with the artist and knows their sound, knows what they want and didn't want, and they're kind of finishing the project or making sure that it's being put out the right way. So as long as it's somebody that's not taking advantage of them and there was obviously enough content to put together an album, I'm a fan of it because, you know, although these people are gone, we still want to hear the music from them, especially if it was already created. So how you feel about it?
I'm the same way. If it's done right, like you said, if it was something they were working on before they passed, then it's okay. I don't want to hear like no AI generated music that's using their voice,
right?
Because it can be their voice, but don't necessarily be the same style of
right,
like how they used to rap,
right,
how they used to sing,
right.
And I know that was similar with Michael Jackson. It was like a couple songs that they used like kind of like, it wasn't really an AI version, but it kind of used his voice and like kind of altered it. But it, I mean, like I said, it has to be done right.
Right.
So we talked about artists that had like you were looking forward to hearing from by the end of the year. Has there been like any artists that you can think of that had a great or a good come up within like the past few years?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about today's day and age is that anybody can pop off at any point. You know, some artists I feel like will stand the test of time. Some are just here right now, but there's constantly new people coming out, and I like looking forward to finding new artists each and every year. There's a few that I have really grown to like over the last couple years, though. I'm gonna start with somebody that has blown up on players like Drake's album. He's been on Tyler's albums. He's been on a few others' album and music. But Tizo Touchdown.
And how to tell you was.
Tizo is really in a lane of his own, just because I don't even know how to categorize him. He's rock starish, but he's really R&B too. He can really sing. He's very good on the hook. He got his own swag, from literally how he dressed to how he gets on the track. And I'm a big fan of Tizo. He's very talented. His last album was I just listened to it the other day. It has a high replay value. I feel like his peers very much respect what he's doing. So I'm very much a fan of Tizo Touchdown. Next, I'll go with Leon Thomas.
Okay.
Leon, as I said in the first episode of the podcast, he had a top 5 album of 2024 to me, one of the best in the R&B space at right now, especially with Brett not making as much music. I will put him up there. I will put him up there right now, especially in the R&B space. Like I said, some of the top players in that space are the Brent Faiyaz of the world, but I feel like as far as the younger guys, he's leading the pack. You know, he's got a great sound. He's songwriting. He's producing as well. He's very talented. He had a very good Tiny Desk that just dropped not too long ago. He's a very talented singer. Next one, I got to give him some props because he had a very loud 2024, Bossman D-Lo. Bossman D-Lo is not even necessarily a brand of rap that I would call myself loving, but when I hear him come on, I'm definitely jacking Boss. Yeah, I'm jacking Bossman D-Lo. He definitely got to run. We'll see if he can sustain what he got going on right now, but he was definitely one of the most played artists of 2024 that I at least heard, and I like what he got going. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. I'm a fan of Bossman D-Lo. Next, I'm gonna go with Cash Cobain.
Okay.
Cash Cobain got that Jersey club music type of beats. He's a producer. I liked his album. I think you sent me his album last year. He has some very good features. That Problem track had 10 plus artists on it.
It was like an album list of people.
Yeah. And it was a different track, but I like pretty much all the verse on that song. I like his sound.
Everybody had like their own flow.
Yeah, for sure.
Each of them had like 20 seconds. Right. Like you get 15, 20 seconds. Let me see what you can do.
It was fire though. I really enjoyed that track. He's got a song on there on his most recent album with J. Cole, one of my favorite rappers. I'm a fan of Cash Cobain. Obviously that for sure was one of the bigger songs of 2024 for him. I'm rocking with his wave as well. And then lastly, this is somebody I referenced in the first episode, but 4Bats.
Okay.
I know a lot of people probably call him the industry plant, but I hear a lot of Brent in him when he goes into that distorted kind of voice. I like his sound. It's my type of music because it's a switch up from the rap. And with his image kind of with the shiesty on, and you would think that he's coming with some hardcore rap, but it's that alternative type of R&B, and I'm a big fan of his sound, and all these young players, I feel like they definitely got a future if they can keep going with what they got going on in 2024 and early 2025. So what about you? What are some of the artists that you are really enjoying over the last couple of years?
Some people may know, some people may not know. One of them I'm going to say is IDK.
Oh man,
IDK is you put me on to him back in like 2022, 23. With that album, that Racer album,
the F1 one.
Yeah. He his sound is smooth. He got a smooth, soulful, but he can also throw some rap too.
Yeah.
And the one song that he got with Being a Butcher, the score, that's been on my replay since 2023.
Yeah.
Now it's on my replay on 2024.
Yeah.
But he has a sound that is unique. He has a unique sound. It's not like rugged, but it's not also smooth, like in between.
Right. He can go to either pocket.
Yeah. And he's good at both sides too. Right. Yeah, he's one.
He had a good album last year as well.
Yes.
That what was it, Bravado?
Yeah, Bravado. Yeah, like
it was double-sided almost. Yeah. And it was like two different types of. It was one was the smoother singing kind of side, and then the other was the rap side.
Yeah.
IDK is fire.
Yeah. And then he got that one song that with Gunna, Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany.
That song was tough.
That
song was tough. Chase Shakur. Chase Shakur, I started listening to Chase Shakur 2023. One song I heard was on Instagram, and it didn't come out. It didn't release yet. I heard people playing like a DJ mix it, and I was trying to find it for a little bit, but then he finally dropped it. It's called Nights, and it got like that house club vibe to it. And his sound, he just recently dropped the album.
Yeah, you put me on.
That John's so fire.
He got a lot of good tracks on there.
That John's so fire. It's like one of them albums you can listen to all day on repeat. And he's more so of a singer.
Yeah.
He don't rap. He got like a soft. I'm trying to think who he put me in the mind of, but he definitely is like that calm R&B,
vibey music too.
Yeah,
vibey music.
Another one I'm gonna say is Vori. Vori, my boy from school had put me onto him back in like 2019, and then he had dropped an album in 2020, I believe. 2020.
You put me on Vori.
Yeah, he got a lot of good songs. One of my favorite songs by him is All Due Respect. And he just recently dropped an album last week.
Yeah,
last week.
Yeah.
That album was good. He had dropped one 2022.
Yeah, the one with Do Not Disturb on it.
Yeah, that was a good song too. With
that album was fire.
Super fire.
The album before that, Vori self-titled album, I remember listening to that like in 2020 when I was in like Taiwan. That was Vori is tough.
He can rap too.
He can rap. He got like a spoken word pocket. Vori's tough. Vori's super tough.
Yeah, he's a good one. And then, how many did I say?
I think you got one more left.
One more. Larry June.
Oh.
Larry June.
Yeah.
Larry June had a good few years.
Yes.
Him and he got a few hours with Alchemist.
I think they team up regularly.
Yeah, that's like a once. If we had to do a producer and an artist, just know that album was gonna be fire. He just recently had one with 2 Chainz.
Yep, 2 Chainz and produced by Alchemist. Yeah, that had a lot. That's one of my favorite albums of the year so far. That's up there for early album of the year consideration for certain.
But he has the one album he did with Alchemist,
Great Escape.
The one before that,
Spaceships on the Blade.
I think that was after. I think it might have been Great Escape.
Great Escape is the one where he got the Patek on his wrist and
the clouds.
Yeah.
So he got features with Action Bronson.
Yeah.
And Big Sean and all of them.
Battling on myself every time.
That's a good. It's so crazy because I went to New York and they was winning the Kiss. And they was playing that whole album.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought they was just playing that one song.
Yeah.
It's bad when you listen. I wouldn't say it's bad, but when you listen to an album so much, you know the order.
The order of the track
You
was.
know the order of each song, and I was like, "Ain't no way they playing this." So I was like, I stayed in there a little longer just to listen to the.
That was a great take.
Oh yeah,
That was a great take. Yeah. Great list as well.
this has been a great topic. We talked about artists that you feel as though you are looking forward to drop. And then you had artists that had a good come up. Now let's go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
What are some artists that needs to drop in order to stay relevant, or just needs to drop just to need, like, just you gotta drop? It's very overdue.
I'm gonna call this section drop or flop because people probably won't like me, but I'm gonna be. By the time I'm done with this list, I'm gonna be real with a lot of people because we just need to have these conversations. I'm gonna start with the first artist, someone who I used to be a big fan of, but they haven't dropped in a while, and they've been talking about dropping this album. And at this point, it's like, what are you waiting for? Roddy Ricch. He's been talking about this Navy album for a couple years now. And Roddy in 2019-ish, I want to say around that time. Yeah, like maybe right before COVID, that, excuse me for being antisocial, was like #1.
Right.
No skip album damn near. Some of my favorite tracks by him. And I was a big fan of Roddy Ricch prior to that album. And then the next album, it was solid, but it just wasn't the same momentum. It didn't hit the same way. And like we talked about, as unfortunate as it may be, all we can do is judge an artist off their most recent work. And it was a little bit of a fall off from that very good album. And then we haven't heard of Roddy since. He's been on some features here and there, but like he hasn't put out a mixtape. He hasn't been anywhere near relevant. And then the snippets and stuff that he has dropped hasn't really gotten a great review from his fans and from the people in general. They're saying that he's like a sound merchant, got every song sounding the same way.
Right.
So I think Roddy is due for an album and due for a big album. This Navy album, to me, gotta hit. Next, I'm gonna go with another rapper that used to be one of my favorites at one point, Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Chance had a real lane. He had a real lane. He had a real sound. I want to say his last album was Wedding Day. He had some songs on there like Big Fish. He had some songs on there with the Big Day, I think. Big Day, but I think it was in reference to him getting married.
Yeah.
He had some songs on there, Big Fish. He had some songs on there with Nicki. I was a fan of that tape. I was a fan of Coloring Book. I was a fan of Acid Rap. I was a fan. He had a run.
He had a from 2016 to like, or before that.
Yeah.
20,
Acid Rap came out like, I want to say like 2014. Yeah.
From that to Coloring Book.
Yeah.
I was like,
she had one more in between Acid Rap and Coloring Book. Was it?
I'm not sure.
It was the one with Yachty. That was like one of my first times hearing Yachty. Mondi only kept
Coloring Book.
About it. Was that Coloring
It was
Book?
Coloring Book.
Okay.
Yeah, what Future had
Smoke Break on there. Okay. He had a real run.
2016.
He had a real run, and I want to see that Chance the Rapper back. I know he had some listening situations, like he had an Art Basel, an event where he had people come and they could hear the album and they saw some visuals as well. So I like that he's advertising some music, but we want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it, Chance. I'm ready for that Chance music. So, and mind you, with all these rappers and artists, I want them to do well.
Yeah, it's not like we're saying that they're bad.
Right.
It's like we want to hear.
As a fan.
Yeah, I want you to drop music to like really stay relevant in our ears.
Right. Then going on all these like 5-year hiatus and you know, as a fan, we're fans. That's what we want. We want good music. I mean, and they're also not at the level of the Rihannas and the Franks where they can do that. Like there's still, we want that music from Frank and Rihanna and all them, but like they can afford to do that. These artists to me are still like on their rise. They're on their come up. We need to hear the music. We need to hear the music. Next, he was on my most anticipated, but I feel like for him to carry the momentum, maybe Keem, bro. Maybe Keem. Again, a fan. I am a fan. I enjoy his music. I enjoy his sound, but I want to hear the music. Right. No more, no less. Next, Lil Uzi. I was not a big fan of Uzi's last tape.
Right.
And that tape had also came last year, 2024, after
in like November.
Yeah, after a hiatus though.
Yeah.
Like when you give me such a hiatus and then the product is not living up to par, that's when I start having an issue. Like, you were doing what with all that time, right? You know what I'm saying?
And also, if it's like a album, let's just say you have an album that got 12 songs and you only like 3 or 4, is that a good album?
Right.
Like, if it's more than half of the songs that you like,
right,
I would say it's a decent album.
Right.
But if it's like only like 2 or 3 songs that's skippable,
right,
that's a good album.
right.
And like you said before, Uzi, that album, like I said, it was only like 3 or 4 songs on that album that I really like.
Right.
And from going from the last one that he did,
Yeah.
now that album,
Paint tape.
yeah. Now that one before, that was a good album.
Yeah.
It was a lot of songs on there that I like, and probably a few that I skipped, like on some hardcore rocker or just like a sound that was just too, like, you know.
Right. Especially when you reach a certain level of stardom and status. I feel like it's twofold. Some of these people, like, they still trying to get to that level. Well, maybe all these people. Maybe Keem is the only one still trying to get to that level. But like Roddy, Chance, Uzi, they reached a certain level of stardom. Even this next person I'm about to add, they reach a certain level of stardom. So it's now the expectation. I don't want you to go backwards. I want you to keep going forward. Like we talked about Donnie T. When Don Toliver drops, we know that it's going to be an advancement. It ain't going to be him going backwards.
If he's not going backwards, he's like same level.
Right, right.
And that's just as long as you're like same level or like a step above, that's good.
Right.
I don't want no artist to decline.
Right. Right. And that's a perfect segue to this last person. I know this is going to hurt a lot of people's hearts with me saying it, but I'm not afraid to say it. Lil Baby.
Yeah.
I am a Baby fan. Let me start off by saying that. I am a big Lil Baby fan.
2020.
But we haven't seen the same Lil Baby since
COVID time?
Yeah, My Turn. And then the My Turn Deluxe. He was the hottest artist in the game. He was right under all the top dogs. And from there, we haven't heard the same Lil Baby, in my opinion. Everything he touched was being played in the club, on the radio, all over social media. And he's still a good artist, but he's, to me, not at the same level as My Turn. The next album, It's Only Me, I believe the name of it was. I liked it, but it just wasn't the same as that album. Then he took a bit of a hiatus, a 2-3 year hiatus, and then wham! It dropped early this year, and I'm not even playing it no more. Like, I feel like the features carry him. I want to see that My Turn Lil Baby back. And he mentioned that he's going to drop another album later this year. So I want that to be on that level of My Turn or comparable.
And granted, I know it's hard for artists that got such a high stature to live up to that hype or live up to having good albums.
Right.
But if you gotta find, I feel like they gotta find that niche where it keeps them even level or a step above.
Right.
And granted, I know it's a lot of work that they gotta put into it, but still, it's like you in this field for a reason.
Right. Right. Like the praise is just like being an athlete.
Right.
What comes with the praise comes the critiques.
Right.
So talk to me. What's your top 5 drop or flops?
Yeah. One of them you said Roddy Ricch. Roddy Ricch had we was just listening to one of his songs in the car with Gunna. But like you said, that album that he had that had set him up.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great album. It was
The Antisocial one.
we did. It was a good album. It got a lot of good songs, got a lot of good features. The one that I liked the most was the one with him and Ty Dolla $ign. Backseat, I believe.
Yeah.
That was a good song. It was like a vibe song.
Classic.
Okay. Another one I'm gonna say is Meek Mill. Meek Mill. His last album was what was it, Expensive Pain?
Expensive Pain.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was good. It wasn't like Championship.
No. He came out of jail. I'm like, Meek is bad.
It wasn't like Championships. Championships had no skip.
Yes.
Had no skips.
Yes.
From the intro to the end of the song.
Yes.
The intro and the end of the songs was probably the best song.
Right.
And it started off by saying, it's go time.
Right.
And then the last song is like basically him telling a story.
Mm-hmm. Weekend sample.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He got that, and you know his trademark, like Cohart.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3. He got on different albums, but that Championship album was that was my freshman year of college. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right before Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he needs to drop an album or an EP, really an album, preferably an album.
Yeah.
To get back on track.
He did drop an EP in 2024.
Okay. Those was, I did listen to some of them.
Yeah.
I think 2 songs they were like.
Yeah. He'll always drop some good songs, but
or like him freestyle, like you see on the internet.
Right.
Like his freestyle is good too, but
I look at Meek like he should be one of the best in the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's now so far in the game that he should be on that top tier. If he's not the top dogs like the Coles, the Kendricks, the Drakes, the Futures, he should be in that next tier. But like he don't necessarily, to me, solidify himself always like that. So I'm in agreement with you. I would like to hear some good Meek. I think he needs a big time album this year.
Another one I'm gonna say is Division. Division. He you can put me on to him. I want to say
it's 2 people actually.
Yeah, you put me on to them in like 2016.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
That the album that had like the purple,
like the lit up. Yeah, the neon signs. Yeah. They had some very good songs on that album.
The first album, the first song that I listened to was
Too Deep.
Too Deep. Too Deep was fire.
Yeah.
It got that slow, and then it got the beat, and then the bass to it.
Yeah.
The album that they had, not the one with Ty Dolla $ign.
Okay.
The one before, like the solo off.
Okay.
With just them.
With a sunset kind of on the cover.
It was like it came out 2020, 21 or 22. Well, I'm not sure, but even the one they had with Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah.
That joint was fire.
They had a very good album with Ty.
The song that he got with
Snow.
That too. The one song that he got on with the collab with Ty Dolla $ign and what's his name? YG.
Okay.
YG. That song was fire. The one with Mac Miller.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good songs on that.
Yeah, it was.
But I think it's time for him to. You figure what that was
21.
Yeah, like slightly after COVID.
Yeah,
that's come up on 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And then another one I'm gonna say is Jhené Aiko. She had a feature on Playboy Cardi just recent album, right? Backdoor,
right?
With him and Kendrick and her. I didn't know she was featured on it. She had like little lines.
Oh, yeah.
The Chilombo one, she had, what was that, 2019? I think 2018, 2019.
Is that the one with Sativa?
No, not that one. That one song she got with Ty Dolla $ign and not Ty Dolla $ign, Future and
Miguel.
Yeah.
I know, dude. Yeah. That's a tough one. That's a good album.
That was a good album. That was like a good summer, spring vibe album.
Yeah.
But like you said, that was what, 2019, 2020?
I got to give her a little grace, not to discredit your list, but she did just have a baby. Her and Big Sean had a baby.
Yeah.
And I can understand where becoming a new mother could take precedence over making music, but I'm not discrediting your album at all because I do still want to hear.
Need that.
I still want to hear the music.
Yeah, multi-time.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, those are the ones that I see shows though that needs to drop.
Yeah. Very good list. And again, we're not saying that this is nothing personal against any of the artists that were named. This is just our right read of the people that we feel like need to drop. And as a fan, more than as a critique,
Right.
we need to hear the music, and we want to hear it at a certain level. That's it.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Right Read podcast, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube at The Right Read. Follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok at The Right Read. I enjoyed this topic. This topic was very, very like mindful. Like,
Yeah.
it should go to show that we take passion into music.
Yeah.
And like the artists that we mentioned are like the people that we listen to the most. And I feel as though that it's time for them to, like, we want to hear more music.
Right.
And
I mean, I look at it from just, my list, but then hearing your list, look at the diversity in the music.
Right.
It's not just all one lane. It's not all one type of artist. We're naming some of the same people, but a lot of different artists that you and I both listen to, but some people that I didn't even think of, some people that we don't both listen to. So it's dope that we can,
right read.
It's the right read, and like we said on the first episode specifically, this is a passion of ours. This is something that we do on a regular basis, on a daily basis. We're sharing new music on a weekly basis. So I'm glad that people can continue to see our perspective on the music, especially since the music game and industry is ever so changing, So I enjoyed talking about this topic very much.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Right Read. I'm your co-host, Miles Reed.
And I'm your co-host, Davon Reed.